Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon, good evening, and to everyone watching, to everyone who will tune in. Welcome here to Current Situation Media, Diaspora, Liberian Political Spotlight. My name is Vincent Hooks. I am the host here, and we will be joined here by one of our analysts, Mr. Steve Gabe. So tonight, Mr. Steve Bully is off attending some business obligations. So thank you very much. Here, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna take 5 to 7 minutes here to share this segment here. So tonight we will be discussing key issues. So join the discussion tonight. Tonight is very important discussion. And let's see what we'll be discussing here are some of the mysterious deaths in Liberia that sparked national headlines back home and in the diaspora. Some of the mysterious deaths. We know people die every day, and we know everyone's lives is important, but some of the deaths do not spark national headlines. Some do. So those that pretty much sparked international headlines, we will be discussing it today. Let me take this call very quick here. Hello. No, no, yeah, I'm waiting for you to come in. Yeah, yeah, yes, I'm not seeing you on the dashboard. Yeah, you want to? Yeah, yeah. So when you come in, I'll be able to see you. Okay, I can see you now. All right, all right. I can see Steve now. So we will go ahead and
My background is okay.
yes, yeah, yeah. I like your background.
Okay.
Yeah, I like your I like your piano. Can you see me loud
Yeah,
and clear?
very clear.
Hear me loud and clear. Can you see me?
I'm hearing you, I'm seeing you, and I also love your background with the flag of Liberia.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes. So let's right now is 9:08. We're gonna do some sharing here. So we're gonna while you're gearing up here, I'm gonna play some music in the background and we're gonna take 5 minutes to share, okay?
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, so 5 minutes here, we're gonna play some music, then we're gonna fire up here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to Current Situation Media, Diaspora Liberian Political Spotlight. Please join the conversation and help us share this live segment here. Can you hear the music?
It's low. Yeah, got a lot in the small. Yeah, 2020. You want me to play from my side? Yeah, I want to take the picture from the screen now.
All right, we back.
Yeah, but I'm not hearing your music. You want me to play something?
Oh, you not hearing the music?
No, not yet.
Oh, I was playing the music in the background.
Yeah, I was not hearing anything.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much here for tuning in here. Go ahead and share this live segment here, and we are about to discuss a very important topics here. We would like for you to join this discussion and be part of it. As you all know, current situation media here, our audience is always part of these
You can.
important.
Do you hear what? Do you hear what I'm playing?
Oh yeah, who you playing? There you go. I can hear you. What are you playing? You playing your party music?
No, that's our team song, man.
Oh, that's your theme song. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, folks. Go ahead and share this live segment here. We appreciate that here. Today we are going to have a discussion of some some of the mysterious deaths in Liberia that occurred from at least 2020 to 2023. We are not discussing everything. We know people die every day. We are just discussing about maybe four or five, that made national headlines. So we would like for you to be part of the discussion, and your comments are necessary. Are important. Your participation is very important as well. We do have a number on the screen: 515-326-1905. So that's the number. That's the number to participate. And so we are being joined today here by one of our analysts tonight, Honorable Steve Ngay. Tonight we have Mr. Steve Bully. He took tonight off. He is attending some business affairs. So he will not be with us tonight. He might watch the segment and he might comment as well. So share this here and we will be starting in the next 5 minutes. So Steve,
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So how you been?
This
How you
year.
been? How's your week going so far?
Yeah, we're doing good. We just hanging there and a lot of research and watching our country movement, especially as we are gearing towards election this year. So we try to focus our attentions on our country to see what is going on.
Right.
But just that with the point to be discussed tonight, which is very key and paramount to every one of us, especially that have brought fear in the life of even I was sitting here, especially some of us that been in the wranglings of politics and so at the middles of politics, at the top politics, seeing those kind of things happen in our country, it's not good. But anyway, we will dive into that.
Yes, we will dive into that. So how's your weekend going so far? Your weekday, because we are gearing up for the weekend.
Yeah, well, so far it's good. That was wonderful. The past week I was naturally not well.
Yes. I
Yeah,
wish
but
you
at least today I'm trying my best, and I'm doing pretty good. Yeah.
okay.
So
Are we
far we are good. Mm.
Yep, so far we are good. Are we expecting anything this weekend? Like you attending any social event in a house section? Have you been invited to any section? Any special section in the city?
Yeah. Well, we have two sessions. It's like just that I'm in the midst of the season. We were the Coffee SC women, the noble organizations in the USA, where I serve as a Secretary General, will be the women of Coffee SC will be appreciating the men for their immense support to them, especially Coffee SC men sacrifice, for them, taking it out for the Valentines and then having some fun, carrying them to restaurant, buy food. It's just a means of making them happy and assuring them that they are useful and they are meaningful to the life of men. And that is also an appreciation to their endless support over the years until the Valentine Day. So the organization used this time to appreciate all the women. So the women also went in their crowd and said, look, what the men did for us was so wonderful. So we are also going to invite them, all the men, and then be able to appreciate them for their kind gestures. So that would be this coming Saturday. And in that CV, I have one of my the brothers and father who traveled to Liberia a few months back, and then he had a terrible accident.
Right.
And that accident was so terrible, and I mean, it was God who saved his life and brought him back to life. It happens that he was sitting in the car going to his village, and the driver just stepped out of the car and went to either buy something or something like that. And his nephews in the car with them and just get on the steering and just start the car.
Oh
And the
wow.
car just pull up and just bump in somebody's house, and the whole house fall on the car, the whole car damaged. If you say
Wow.
somebody saved from in that car, you will not believe it. And
Wow.
then he just returned to back to America. So this coming Saturday is a date of Thanksgiving Day for him
Yes.
and all the citizens of Bobby District, friends, well wishers, and the organization by the name of Togo will also be killing goat on that day too at his residence. So I also have that invitations, and also being an eminent citizen of the district, I was highly invited to be a part of that program. So I'm in the midst of that two program. But anyway, I
So
know how.
you are in the midst of those two programs this week in the
Yeah,
month.
yeah, that's the same Friday.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to hear the incident took place with your. You said that's your brother-in-law.
No, that's the father and brother. He's an
Or
uncle.
oh,
Yeah.
your uncle. And this it took place when this week in
No, that was in Liberia.
Liberia, but last week or this week?
Yeah, no, that was last week. No, yeah, last week. That was
It
last month. Last month. That
last
was in February. Yeah, that was in
it
February.
took place
It,
in Grand Jide.
it took place in Nima. It
Nima.
took place in Nima. Yeah, that was to be specific. That happened in Babi town, Babi district, Nima district number 6 in Nima. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that was so terrible. And more besides, so many deaths. That was taking place. Also, my in-law passed, and 2 days ago he was buried yesterday. And I've been on call throughout with them. You know, the time they can be awake and we are sleeping. So the time they are awake there, they will be calling me and then putting me on video. So I've been having sleep at night for the last 2 days. Yeah, talking with them, talking with the families and arranging his burials and all of those stuff.
Yeah.
And he has been buried. So he's an older brother to my wife, you know.
Oh, a lot of things been going on, and you still
Yeah.
recovering from your illness you had a couple weeks ago. So how you
Yeah.
feeling now? How's the body?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I've been taking pill. Thank God this is USA. It's not a country where uh, your health status is not important. It's a country where people are concerned about your well-being, and then you are not well, people come to your aid, immediately when you get to the hospital. So I've been going to the hospital, and I'll be on treatment actually.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good.
Hmm.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you always for taking time off your busy schedule to join us here. So, ladies and gentlemen, here, if you're just joining us here, we want to say welcome here to Current Situation Media. Every Thursday at 9 p.m. Central Time, and which is 10 p.m. Eastern Time, we discuss, national politics, diaspora, Liberians, political spotlight. This is where we tackle issues concerning our country. So your voice, is necessary. Please join the conversation. Tag someone. Tell them that diaspora Liberian political spotlight is on right now, and just join the conversation. Your voice in the diaspora matters. So we would like to hear your voice. We would like to hear what your thoughts about these subject matters. So tonight, we are going to be discussing here. We're going to be discussing some key issues here. We are going to be discussing um, some of the mysterious deaths in Liberia that occurred from at least 2020 to now. And also, we are not discussing all the death. People die every day, like I said. So we are just discussing some of them, not even say 10 of them, maybe about 4 or 5, and that sparked international headlines. So we just want to throw lights on them, bring you guys up to speed, and see if you guys have, you know, prior knowledge or any current updates from your end. Come and weigh in. Feel free. If you want to call in, the number is on your screen. So, but continuing to share this here as me and Honorable Steve Gay dive into these discussion. So, Steve, which one we should tackle first? You want to tackle the current one that is going on here with the former Chief Justice, or you want to start with Princess Cooper?
Um, let's begin with what is unfolding right now, and
Yes, yes. So let me put on the screen here, so you can see it, right?
yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to discuss here, and we're going to get it down from the screen a little bit here, but we just want to put it on the screen here to let the folks know this is our first discussion here. The daughter of former Chief Justice Councilor Gloria Musu Scott. It was reported that her daughter was stabbed to death by armed robbers during a home evasion. In Monrovia, Liberia. So we just want to discuss this and see what is going on here. I think this is the second attempt here, on her life. So what's going on, Steve? Bring us up to speed. Why is she's been a target to these armed robbers?
Okay. The question here is huge, and if you are doing an investigation with these kind of cases, few questions come to our mind. One thing that first need to be established is that who is Gloria Mususka,
Right.
and why and what she involved into. Is she dreaming or having ambitions in political to get into politics, it's still that she's a threat to government. In what way she's a threat? And
How
so,
long? How long since she retired?
our last serve of doing Ellen time, I think that was the last time she served. And
Did she
yeah,
step down or she retired?
well, her position were changed. She served Sarah's capacity there, in Liberia when she was Chief Justice, and currently she's a lawyer. I mean, so she got a lot of case to handle, and so she been retired actually from her position, but she still serve as a lawyer.
So she still works as a lawyer.
Yeah, but that is a private job right now because that have been her school of thought, and so she studied law, so she's a lawyer. So she's been hired as a private lawyer to handle cases, in Liberia after she left government. She been in a private job, but she been justice minister. So that positions, especially when you are serving high-ranking position in the country, even if you resign from that positions or if you are retired from that positions, the title still remain. You became emeritus or became someone who is being former, but that portfolio remains on you. And so I think she deserves to be protected.
Right.
But let's go to the issue of the death, the attack in the house. When we are providing analysis on this kind of stuff, sometimes we don't know what is going on. But we will not say much on this because the police are still conducting an investigation. I witnessed when Jefferson Kochi and his lawyer were caught yesterday in Liberia to attend the police questioning. And so Jefferson Kochi were called because based upon Jerome Vodia's testimony, I don't know why he using the words accused or insinuating that Jefferson Kochi is involved in the killing or in the attack of the homes of Gloria Musu. And so the police tried to invite Jefferson Kochi as maybe person of interest to provide some of the clarities on the statement from Gloria Musu's. But when
Are they considering him as a suspect or?
Well, when the lawyer of Kochi said today that the case has not been concluded and Jefferson Kochi is still ready to face any questioning and any investigation. So he's still under investigation. What police does in these criminal cases is that you will be invited first time. They have to get your first statement from you, and then they go after your statement. They do comparative analysis in criminal justice. They look at the statement you gave comparing to the incident that happened. Sometimes they ask you, where were you when this thing happened, or at what time you were at home. So they look at those, they compare those times and then compare when the thing happened and where were you at that time when this incident took place. So from your explanation, from your answering the question to the police will now analyze your statement coupled with information they are going to gather around also. And they will also be ice cream because it's a long process. It's a very long process in criminal investigation. What makes it so long is that the kind of sophistications that is in the Western country like America, where although criminals issue take place here, but they will get at the bottom of it every time because they got systems that will track criminals. Okay, these systems are not in place in Liberia. That, for example, secret cameras are all over the city. sometimes there are other red lights. You don't know that camera is up there watching your car. As soon as you
Yeah,
blow the red light, they gave you
but,
ticket in your bars.
yeah, but being a high government official, the former Chief Justice, that rank is so high that she too, don't she have cameras at her compound, or or at least the government should be able to provide security to these high-ranking former officials? Because let's say in the Western world or in other developed countries in Africa, high government officials, they are protected 24/7. Especially those that work in the judiciary, system. Lawyers, justices, they are always protected, and most of them, their houses or their mansions, their resident, they are not available to the public. They are
Mhm,
always at a secret location. So
mhm.
one would think that she should have camera at her compound because of her, her level of rank she served in the government. Your thought?
Uh, it's not happening in Liberia. That's making so sad in our country. Uh, Liberia is open to crime. Let me say, Liberia is open to crime, and testimonies are the couple of deaths that have been taking place in Liberia that we're going to look at a few of them today. Like if I listen to President Weah's speech after the death of the peace ambassador in Liberia, who died, and when the president come out to say you can put a CCTV, on your house. So that definitely shows that Liberia is kind of vulnerable to 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 crimes, you know. So CCTV has not been exposed in our country, and it's not popular in most of the places. But I think it was prudent enough for a high-ranking officials like Charloe Musu to have, to she being the security setter as a justice ministry, and having ideas of Liberia startups of crimes and that she should have at least, or introduce a security measure by putting camera. But I can believe that when that doesn't just happen just one time,
But this is
uh,
the second time, and
yeah,
still no camera at her
yeah. So
car.
So I mean, there's no camera because I think the police just said they just issued a statement that since the thing happened, they've been inviting her, so that they can get statement from her. She refused to talk to the police. You know, she refused to provide statement to the police, and I think she's supposed to do. And the police is inviting all of the household, the tenants in the house, to also come and provide security. I mean, to provide questioning. I mean, answering to most of the questions police want to ask. And most of the questions are going to be, uh, is there a camera in your house? Is camera in your house? How do we track your camera? What is your can we get the memories of your camera so that we can go into your CC camera to know who all enter your house at any time? At what time you close your door? What is the security measure of your door? That is, apart from or typical human sitting at your gate, which is not safe because that individual can be shot and somebody can get enter. And now, do you have some iron doors, iron bar, to your house, and how secure they are? So the police have to also look at if there's an iron door because the person outside the house. Now the question is, the person passed through the roof? Now, if the person doesn't pass through the roof to enter the house, meaning there's insider who should have opened those iron gate for this person to enter.
Yeah, so that was my next question here. So if the gate was not broken, do you think that the robbers, you know, have a connection with some of the folks that live in the resident?
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
we have she was let's see here. So the chief justice, the former chief justice, and we also had Gertrude Newton, Rebecca Yondi,
yeah.
and Wasner and Alice Johnson. They are
Mm,
all subpoena to
yeah,
come to Liberia National Police
yeah.
headquarters for questioning. by tomorrow, Friday, March 3rd.
Yeah. And so it's important. So this analysis I'm making, let's just look at that, because I know in Liberia, every houses, as soon as you complete your house, before you move in your house, you put onion dough. And then you put onion bar on your window. Especially someone with that caliber, with that kind of portfolio in the country, that you also been observing that a lot of people have died in their home. If you look at this guy who died in the home, or Dr. William Aratobo, the second, or the peace ambassador, those people, the auditors, those people die in their residence. Now, you are being in the government setting. Will not tell me that you don't have a security measure in place to prevent those kind of occurrence.
Let me
come to your question that you just asked, whether government can provide security for these people.
Yes.
That is not in government policy in Liberia.
Really?
No, it's not. They can only provide security when you are in power, when you are in that position at the time. When you leave positions, you on your own.
So they have to hire like private
security. So she did it. She hired private security because she was advised, according to police statement by Moses Carter, she was advised that with this incidents happening, this is not the first time people come into your house. I think it's better that you hire a security. And then I think from this statement, she hired like 3 security, but they are just private security from Genesis Security. And those security, how safe they are, because they're not carrying stake. They carry firelight.
Are you telling me private security do not carry guns?
No. Even police in Liberia, except those who are ERU, but the rest of the police don't carry arms.
Oh wow.
So if you call police in that, except ERU, the rest of the police you see in the street, no arm. They don't have arm. So that's why you see most of the rulers and most of the disrespect come to police, and people attack them just in their faces, because they are armless. They just carry uniform only. They only carry uniform. So if you even invite police, the police can look for ERU, and the ERU unit, they are not enough to cover the city. It may be just 1 or 2 cars. And maybe the car doesn't even have gas in at night, or maybe they can't have tire problem.
Right.
Of course. So they are not sophisticated. And government have to look in that direction. Because from the list of deaths that are taking place in the country, and up to now, the government have not come up with a measure to put security to empower them to reinforce the security and make the policing attractive to the public, so that a lot of people can be a part of the police, and those crimes are taking place. So I mean, with the issue of Gloria, we will a bit wait to see those people they are inviting to answer these questions will come out to give us some of these questions. But we try, if someone is listening to us from the police, to be able to establish the fact that let's know how the criminal enter. That's one of the important things that people need to focus on. How these people access the house, inside the house. Now, if she doesn't put no iron gate and nothing to the house, then where are the 3 police private security? Where are they at the time? And how they get open? Are these people jump over the fence and enter the fence first? Because if the gate is locked, before entering the house, you got to pass through the fence. And I believe in Liberia, the fence is not like what happened in the US here. They put a short fence around house. No, they put a little bit long, 6 feet, tall, sometimes 7 feet. Other people go 8 feet tall or fence, and they have to catch on top of the fence with the iron bar, with those or wire, those wire. So if the people will go through the fence, on top and part through on top of the fence, it means they got to cut the wire, and the movement, there should be a movement. There should be a movement. So a police, if you are three, then I don't think three of you will just sit on one positions and be looking at each other's faces. It means you have to patrol the very house. That's why you're paid for, to be going around the house.
Yeah, to my surprise, there was nothing to alarm her that there was, robbers in her compound. No camera, like I stated. Looking at her, status. Former chief justice, and still practicing as a private attorney, a lawyer. And she also representing the Liberty Party, right? Am I correct?
Yeah. So she representing a Liberty Party. Now, I know people might believe. The reason why I didn't want people to insinuate that, yes, maybe someone is targeting her, then the question should be for what? Is it that Liberty Party have a case with government that we know that Liberty Party going to win that case? There's no case. Liberty Party, the government doesn't have a case that they are fighting that they're going to win. Okay, if it's not government, then it becomes an individual's issue. Then perhaps there are individual problems, or there are personal issues between she and someone that they have to go after her, and they have to go to her home, And if they go there to steal, armed robber, most armed robber goes in your house to make away properties and some valuable belonging. So the next question is, did they took away any belonging out of the house?
Well, no. I think we will get more on this police investigation when they appear to the headquarters tomorrow. But let's take a look here. Let's take a look here at let's play our sound box here from the interview with Jefferson here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let me go ahead and put it on the screen, and we just gonna play a little sound box, and you just can be able to. Can you hear him?
No.
Okay. So let me turn the volume on here. The volume is on here. All right, folks, bear with all. Yeah, we just want to play.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my God. Is that coming for me or what? Oh, I'm like land audio, leave audio. It's tripping. But notwithstanding, I think I can relate what he's saying there, because I follow up the interview today.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So after the lawyer has spoken, in fact, the lawyer first said they don't want to encourage him to speak to press, because that's why you have a legal counselor to be able to speak on his behalf. And about with many, cautions, and a lot of people want to hear from him. So the lawyer's okay. You can go ahead and ask him a few questions. And more beside, there's a guy there. He's a Muslim. He also there that he was the one that committed the act. He was the one that was sent. And he worked with the Liberia city police. He worked with Jefferson Kochi also. that he was the one that was sent. Although he's a fighter. He fought, all of the war, model, lead, and
So
stuff.
he's a
He's a former,
former
yeah,
fighter for
yeah.
uh, uh
He's a former fighter.
NPFL or Prince Johnson.
No, he fought for, I think, for Ulimbo. Yeah,
Oh,
because he's a Mango man. So
okay.
yeah, and then I don't want to be a psych of the very fight when he really fought for, but he was one of the, according to him today, because I also listened to an interview that he didn't even know Gloria Musu's car, he don't even know the house, and he didn't know where that house is located. So he don't know the woman. He just heard the information, on air. They been hearing the name on air that he was the one that committed the act, but he doesn't know the woman, and he don't have no idea about that. But when I gave us a coach about the information, the news concerning him, and he said what he was saying there is that the child or the lady that passed away is a citizen of Liberia. I want to quote him exactly, and there's need that the perpetrator be faced the justice and face the weight of the law for the crime that committed. So the police had announced 5,000 of anyone who will provide intangible information concerning this child that passed up. But he also is going to add 5,000 there so that it can be 10,000 or whoever.
So he going to add 5,000 from his personal money or government?
Yeah. No, for a personal money. Well, he said he's going to add 5,000 from his own pocket to add on the police 5,000 so that those who will provide tangible information and that will help with the police with information that are tangible, that the perpetrator will be brought to justice. He will add 5,000 that he will give that person 10,000. So he announced 10,000 today in his statement while he was just speaking right there.
But what about a statement from the other individual, the ex-soldier?
Well, he said he fought war, but he have no idea in that. And the day that even talking about he was at MCC, and so he didn't go anywhere. In fact, his father was also there, and he said he's not a fighter. He fought war, but he had no hand in that. And his father, he's teaching religious or the Muslim, traditions. He's teaching some students that he's teaching. He's also a teacher in the Quran. He's teaching those students the Quran. So he's not part of those things. So he have no idea on how this thing happened. And so he doesn't even know the house of the woman. He can't locate the place. And he didn't even know the woman in person. So you can't tell that he did it. So those are the first,
Was he identified as a suspect by the Liberian National Police?
Well, in case in criminal justice, you cannot consider someone as a suspect based on gossip.
Right.
Yeah, there should be some evidence linking to you. If you are found in that vicinity at the time, maybe the time the thing took place, people saw you around that place.
Right.
And then you become part of your interest. That is the police. They will go after you and say, look, you have to be me until we can follow, because you were seen around the vicinity when this incident took place. But that was not so. The police invitations, according to them today, to the coaching lawyer, the invitations of the police were based upon Councillor Jerome Vodia statement that Jefferson Kochi was part. And so they called Jefferson Kochi to find out, but the lawyer is also saying to the police that it is also prudent that they invite Councillor Jerome Vodia to be able to help the police with this information. You understand that? Now, you see the fence of the house as you display in the house. You see how tall the fence is?
Yes.
And and the fence have a gate. Can you imagine that? So for me, my fear here is that there should be an insider. perhaps the incident may not be something that will link to a death, but guess what? This is how people kill in Liberia. Let me say this today. When criminal enter your house, their intention of coming there is to steal from you.
Right.
Maybe somebody might give them an information. Maybe somebody tenant in a house that I'm perceiving is not the reality, but that's my analysis. And it's not far from fact that if she can have this protective measure in the house and somebody access inside the house, then it means to get through the gate, they mean to get through the door and get inside where they are sleeping. Then there should be an insider.
Yeah, because
I'm coming. Most often the issue may not even be the person coming in there to kill. The incident might be, please get me straight, might be the person just going with the information, or when you come, go to the place, you will see the money sitting there, or you see this one sitting there, and then you get made that we will eat. Then maybe later we can share it. Sometimes some of these armed robbers have the kind of connections. Now, if they enter and they realize that somebody tried to recognize them, that know them personally, they will surely kill you. Because they want to destroy evidence.
So do you think that's what led to her daughter being stabbed multiple times?
Well, that is not the reason. But I'm saying that those are things police got to investigate.
How old is the girl?
If you get this place on the screen, I think she's a little bit bigger girl, but she might pass. Yeah, so
be like 16.
Yeah, she's be around 16, 17 year old.
Yes.
Yeah, she's not a little girl. She's not actually a little girl. Yeah, if you see her. So, and maybe this girl might recognize someone who she really knows among the people. And sometimes when you recognize them, when you see them and you make out their face, they will kill you. They have killed people like that before. They have killed people like that before in Liberia. When you recognize them and they know that you will call their name tomorrow and say, oh, but Uncle Johnson came to the hall last night. I saw Uncle Johnson. Because you know them, they will definitely kill you. They will kill you because they don't want you to explain to the public that you saw them. So sometimes it can be the reason somebody death can take place during their armed robberies.
It is sad that this young lady lost her life, and it is also sad that for former Chief Justice who have served the country, she does not have that adequate security to protect she and her family. Like you said, when you leave office, the government of Liberia, I will do some research on it, but I'll take you by your word.
No, that's it. That's the reality.
The government of Liberia does not provide security.
No, they don't.
But I think, as a Chief Justice, she should, be financially independent to, be able to have private security. And I don't know why private security do not carry gun, because in the Western world, mostly all private security carry gun. I do not know the gun laws in Liberia, but I know a lot of guns were confiscated, after the war. But a lot of people still have guns in their home because, Liberia is underdeveloped nation. So in order to, for everyone to turn in their guns is kind of, it's not possible. But it is sad that this young lady lost her life, and and these guys enter the house with all, breaking in maybe the fence or the door. Do we have any report that the door was broken in? Or I just kind of wondering, that no cameras, because cameras are all over now, and cameras are not even expensive in the US. I'm not saying back home in Liberia, depending on the camera that you're using. She don't have no device that that she can look outside to see who's coming in, or something will give her any signal, when you have someone to approach or the fence. So it just, there's a whole lot of questions
Yeah.
on that have, there's a whole lot of questions to this story that have not been answered. So, I mean, I can't wait for them to appear at the Liberia National Police headquarters tomorrow and to cooperate with police. Because in order for police to also solve this problem, they do investigation. Over here, the security crime scene, they call investigator, they call all these experts to come and do that work. Like I said, bring us up to date. How the crime scene was analyzed? How was it assessed when the police was called?
Okay. I think from the police spokesperson, Moses Carter, said when they called the police, when police were called for, and he said there's a guy who also spoke with the police who said, okay, who lived closer to the same place, and said that the community dwellers, before the police could arrive, the community dwellers are already, entered the place, and the duel had already escaped the scene, and so the police were not able to handle who did the act and who did the killing, and so police were just looking at the place. But I think the informations about the crime scene will also be part of their question tomorrow to the family, I guess, and all the questions that we are asking, or answer questions that we are asking tonight ourselves and trying to analyze them. Those questions going to be asked tomorrow when they are asking the family the link of these people, and okay, it's important that we get the kind of informations, and all the girls that are also in the house, let's also know if they have are they married, or do they have boyfriend, and how often their boyfriend can visit their home, because sometimes criminals, when they come, before they infiltrate your house, they will have to observe the time you go to bed, how you like your door, your security measure of your house, because criminal will not just enter into your house without having an idea, a first-hand information about how your home is placed, where your room is located in that room. They have to know. They must have the first-hand information before they start to execute what they want to do. And so these girls also need to know they are once upon a time invited any man in their house, any boyfriend in the house, and how often the boys can come there. What are their community friends there, and how often the community friends or men are also visiting them there. They also need the national police need to also ask the question.
So
Not only, yeah.
There were how many robbers? 2, 3?
According to police, because they were not seen, but I think there should be 2.
So these robbers wore ski masks.
Except somebody can provide that information, but I think there are 2. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. We still have no one have commented yet. Folks are watching, but they have not commented. So
Okay.
it is sad once again. We look forward to the investigation, the more questioning. I hope they can solve this case, because with all these killings going on here, people being attacked, it makes some people even scared to travel certain places in
Yeah.
Monrovia, in Liberia. We're going to touch more on those other mysterious deaths. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us here, we are just discussing, let me put it on the screen here. We are discussing some of these mysterious killings in Liberia that pretty much are sparking national headlines or international headlines.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, we are discussing former Chief Justice Gloria Scott, our situation that occurred on the 22nd of February, and that led to the killing of her daughter,
Yeah.
which is sad. Police are still carrying on our investigations. People have been subpoenaed to come to the headquarters. So, what other information that you have gathered?
Uh, the police statement also indicate that the man whom the former Chief Justice said she has observed during the day, looking somewhat maybe strange, attack her family at night and kill one of her daughter when he was attacking. That was a statement from there, but until she can go and then talk about such a strange person, because if you come and say that strange someone was around the place, uh, he was there, so you need to also provide that kind of information also to them. But it is sad. Let me be exact. It is sad. I'm actually disappointed, and I continue to be disappointed with the Liberian situation. And I think government, with the numerous deaths that we're going to be touring tonight to be discussing, then it is sad, it is frustrating, to have this kind of country. Especially, sometimes I worry about my family back home. When my wife told me once upon a time, there are some guys that came and they wanted to break through our windows, and but they tried, they could not remove those windows or iron you put there. And then in the day they were showing the video to me, and I was kind of like, wow, that
So
was so
your
frustrating.
resident back home is fenced, right?
Once it's one sided fan, the fan is not yet completed, but the house is been built with an iron bar,
Do you
and
have cameras?
uh,
Do you have cameras?
I don't. I think I need to put that to serious.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
with my with the level of politics that I'm in now,
Yeah.
I think it making no sense for me, because especially there was a fear when my wife told me. Actually, it's not the first time she are telling me this. She told
Because
me one
cameras,
time there was some
cameras,
shooting went on around my place.
yeah.
Yeah, and then there are other guy, but before then, when I was back home, back at my house, there are a guy called the Kapao. They,
Yes.
they also carry arm, and they were very close to my house, so they were so close to me. So every night they patrol around my place. So I think one night there was one criminal. He just a little boy, but they are just people who can pick phone from window. Well, like roaming around my house. I just hear through the windows. The guy said, "What are you doing here? Come on, I will shoot you tonight." So they got fire in the air. Pow!
Wow.
The boss start crying. Oh, God, I can't steal. And I can't steal. So why can't do it around the poor player? Why can't do it? So that player was kind of secure, but my wife told me that they left already. The guy who were around that area left already, and that same vicinity, there are creep arm robbers that went there one time with some Fula guys. Because there are two Fula shops right in front of me. They entered the Fula shop around 9. You get imagine 9 when people are going up and down.
Wow.
The guys entered there and made away some money. They shot one of the guy, the food, and they took him to Guinea. And I think he left Guinea when I traveled to the US. And so a lot of things going on that even scaring some of us that here, especially when we are speaking politics, and especially dreaming about becoming the president of Liberia 2029 with the kind of great visions and ambitions that we are developed. It's kind of scaring for our family. And I mean, but we're going to stand for it, and I don't support this kind of attitude. But all in all, what the government needed to be doing now is
Let me
that.
give you my let me give you my advice before we go back on the topic here. But I will advise you as a friend, make sure that you sacrifice and purchase some cameras, because cameras can serve as substantial evidence in a court of law.
Yeah.
And purchase camera. They have different cameras nowadays. We live in a digital era,
Wow.
so
Yeah.
they have a lot of special cameras that even people cannot detect that camera is around. So and I know most of these technology here, like when it comes to these devices, they can all be found sold in Liberia, because I have my network back there, and they also have most of those same devices we use over here. So I would advise that you discuss with your family, get cameras as needed, because I'm not sure if you have 24 hours private body guys to be with your family. But like you said, you are getting to politics, so and you have a vision to run in 2020. Is that 2029?
Yeah, 2029.
All right, that's a breaking news here. But we will still set up another time to discuss
Yeah,
your intention for the
yeah,
country, and your desire to be, the next president, maybe in 2029.
yeah.
And by that time, now you will be a very popular man in the diaspora. But yeah, but moving forward here, this little girl lost her life. This is hard. This is a tragedy. It's hard on the family, and but you made some key points that these guys might have maybe have some connection inside,
Yeah,
and especially they were not identified, and they did not harm those other people that was in the house. Only
yeah.
this particular individual. So maybe the particular person recognized them and they want to destroy evidence, like you said,
Evidence.
because people want to destroy evidence. But why they did not harm those other individuals that were in the house? Only this little girl, only this young lady. She was stabbed multiple times.
Multiple times. So they are
Yeah,
doing everything to kill her. Everything to they just want her dead. And the question here is that what happened if the girl died? So what happened? Is that going to be what? She's nothing in the city. She's just a private citizen, a little promising girl coming up in life. So the reason of killing her and not start randomly shooting people. If they were randomly shooting people, and then then you say, okay, they were randomly shooting people. But the staff her persistently until she tried to give her ghost. I mean, there should be a tangible reason that perhaps this little girl might recognize this doer of the act. Might recognize them. So we also have to know, where was the little girl? Where were the rest of the people in the house? But they're sitting in the same room when the people entered on them. Who they rushed to? If they just rushed straight to the girl, or how they got into, or they were torturing other than, and she want to escape. That why they kill her, or she called somebody name in the midst of the people. So the family participations in the investigations is cardinal. It's cardinal.
And I also learned that the Chief Justice once went on air to complain that people came to her house and attempted to harm her. She went on the radio. What did the government do about that?
I think the CID commander, what they did was to only provide advice to her that she should find private security. That was the only thing they told her. The government done nothing about it. Like I just told you, when you leave power in Liberia, and this these things, I'm still there are a lot of things that are going to make. I'm not going to discuss it today, but there are a lot of things. There are a lot of things I'm looking at that going to be rectified if God help us 2029. A lot of things going to be rectified. One important thing is that our key players in our country, those who serve in government, just imagine, or this guy, this I just forgetting his name, who died. Oh, his name just coming and just going. Who died at the dump site? Who served as, I think he once served as a head of state in Liberia.
What year was that?
What's the interim president time or whatever? But I can believe I will call his name as we go on. People became leaders of the country. When they leave power, they became vulnerable. They actually became vulnerable. And this kind of policies are not good. More besides, why the government continue to make the police armless? A bulk of police don't carry arm. Only few police carry arm.
So if they don't carry arm here, but in some countries, police don't carry arm. In certain in Great Britain, police don't carry arm. In time of a robbery or in time of incident, maybe they will call a special unit that carry arms. But yeah, but that's a good question. Why all the police maybe they are being very cautious that these guys might use the arm for different reason. But they carry button, right? They carry handcuffs.
Yeah, they carry
So,
baton, they carry handgun, they carry pepper
so,
spray. They don't
so
carry arm.
yeah.
But
So which
mm,
which agency within the police department carry arms?
emergency response unit,
Or the
ERO.
they do not carry arms.
Yeah. So they carry firearm, and there are just few menu number. That's why carry the arm. But the idea is that if you say Great British, yeah, they are country of system. They build their security network. Why help the country is a security network. They got security rapid response security network in those country. Like you speak now, you take your phone and you dial 911. Don't even call your name. You dial 911, just drop your phone down. As soon as phone ring, they will locate where the 911 number is ringing from. In the USA, they will come there. As soon as that number, the phone drop from your hand. If, for example, criminal just rush on you and get that 911 the phone, get from the phone away. In the process there, as the phone is ringing, they will get that location where the phone ringing from. Those are security network they build. So if they put a carry arm, it still help to identify criminal. A country like Liberia, you can't have national security that are just vulnerable. Even private security, the whole country don't carry arm. All the private security in Liberia, they don't carry arm. All the police, they don't carry arm except a certain unit. And how active, how efficient, how effective they are in responding to crime, in responding to incident. So then you call police, you were caught and got tired. I can remember once in 2000, was it 2002? Was it 2002? Yes, 2002. There were criminals around my house at the time. I was living a Lockington, Bassatown community.
Right.
That's a high populated criminal area. And that night, the criminals, they got a drugs, they got a ghetto right ahead of me. And those criminals was circulating the house that night, and they were there. And so I was in my room, and I placed call to police, 911. I spoke to a lady. She telling me I should call the depot that is in Lockington. I said, I don't have the number. He said, but then I don't know what to do. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
She telling me she don't know what to do. So, I should leave it. That was my study time.
So I mean, that's one of the major problems that is going on in the country: security.
Security is major.
Yeah. Security. The system is not in place. Just unnecessary killings going on. Investigation goes nowhere, and folks are disappearing. I can't wait for us to hear the next story here on these 4 auditors that was killed within 8 days. It was sad.
Yeah.
It pretty much sparked international attention. So it's like, I mean, who's doing the investigation? Are these cases going to court, or the government just being on the defensive? So what we can do here is we can conclude on
Gloria Mususka.
Gloria Musu's case here. Then we can move on to the next one, because I think we spent like an hour on her case here, which is this is what is unfolding right now. This is the headline case in Liberia. So what we can do here, we can conclude on that, because I know they might appear to court, not court, but to the headquarters tomorrow. She and her other nieces, or those residents that was in the house. So they might appear tomorrow, and we might get some news to see, the police questioning and see and hear the answers, because this will play a key role in identifying this perpetrator. because I know this perpetrator maybe, you know, was recognized by Charlotte. And also, just to let the viewers know here, this girl was attending a university. She was 17, attending this university. Brighter. So a whole future was just brought to an end on February 22nd. Yeah, it is sad here. We extend our condolences to the former Chief Justice and her family, and let's look forward to the investigations, and we hope things will be solved. We hope that the perpetrator will be apprehended and taken off the streets, because the security system in Liberia, is very poor, is not structured. So if you living in our country, I know everybody watch the back, and especially it's an undeveloped nation, everybody watch the back, and I hope that we can invest more money into the security of the country, and I hope police can be vigilant and do their jobs. But most police, they are not even being paid on time, so they don't even spend a lot of time going around or investigating cases. But the media always bring these to the limelight and put pressure on the government as well, to carry on these investigations swiftly or according to the law.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, those that just joining us here, we will be moving to the next discussion here. So, and then final statement here on the Chief Justice, the former Chief Justice case.
Okay. My final statement here is that government this time around should do everything possible, humanly possible, to go after the cases. It's not fair to our citizens. It's unacceptable to our society to have people just killing people. It's not fair to us. And guess what? All of these things that we are discussing, you see the girl, promising looking girl who may make a change in our society. And like I said the last time, people you kill might be sometimes be a good person who will be in Liberia to speed. You may not know their vision. You don't know their calling. You don't know the kind of grace that God has placed upon their life, that they're going to be able to change and be a help to your unborn generation tomorrow. So you kill them. You are take the country back another step again, because that person could have been, God had destined that person to be able to change the narratives of the country in the next 10, 15, 20 years. In the next 40 years, the government, the country should have reach to the level. Now you destroy the person. No one fit in that gap. No one was given that opportunities. So the country go back another step. And that's why the country being that sent then. And for me, in my capacity, as citizen of Liberia, and also as an aspiring, I want to say, if government relent on these things, there will be an action from the citizen. We will institute an actions that the government will do everything possible. And if not so, the minute government is telling us that they're not capable of protecting us. Because one important thing is that you have to make the police make it attractive to the public. But see, some of the police see their uniform they're wearing, regulars. So no one want to join police. Police now are becoming a Susu Club team. Everybody want to go to do traffic police, so they will stop car and somebody get their money, then they fill their Susu card at the end of the day.
But the police have not been they are not being paid on time, so they are hustling.
So it are diverting the ethics. It are diverting the ethics to that of better seeking police instead of protecting life and property. But let us also understand that policing is a call to duty. It's a call to duty. It's a call to duty. If you are serving as a police, you must be able to sacrifice for your country. you are called for that. It's the same as a military. Now, another solution that I may get government in my party comment. If the police is not enough, we got a lot of AFL, we got a lot of armed people, got joint security. The country should be night patrol by joint security. Some of the police are not enough. They should have joint security. The police, they got a lot of armies at the barrier that don't do nothing there. So in the night by 7, 8 o'clock, the police they post somebody out. This guy take patrol around the community so that they can assess the police and protect the citizen. They pick them up by 4 or 5 in the morning. The army truck come and pick them up to a point. They drive them back to the barrier. So that they'll be able to assess the people to sleep in peace. But if you call police, the problem to come. When a crime takes place, it's a problem to investigate. The majority of the deaths that will come in discuss here tonight, there's no information that I ever come and say this is the tangible. There's a person who is held responsible and he has in police custody and he are going to jail. He has served prison time at this time. But these people are falling in the pool of death. Their body is in the pool of death, in their own home. So who killed them? Why? So the government should ask the joint security to be able to have the lot of police, even if there's a death of or the immigration guy. We're discussing it not on the list, but there's an immigration guy who also died.
Yeah. We could not put everybody on the list, but we are discussing this one tonight, and every night we will be able to throw lights on those ones that pretty much made headlines.
Yeah, so we can make progress. I think so far we can make progress.
A very good point that was just indicated here by you. So let's go ahead and let's put this one up here. All right. So we are about to discuss. I think you guys remember 20. So this was 2020 here.
2020. Yeah, that is in October. That between October 10 to the 10.
Yes, October. These killings of these auditors here, it shocked the country. It shocked Liberians in the diaspora. So let's start with Emmanuel Bartender. Nyeswua. Am I saying his last name right?
Yeah, Nyeswua.
I think Emmanuel Bartender Nyeswua. The Liberia Internal.
Yeah, Internal Audit Agency.
So
he's a director general.
Yes. So it was reported that he was conducting audit of the Liberian government account over some allegation of financial malpractice. So, and also if you can see here that they stated that according to the police that he fell, and according to the police he fell. His death was never accepted, by the people. They suspected of foul play. And so also prior to his death here, there were a whole lot of things. So prior to his death, he visited a nightclub here, in Congo Town. The night before his death, he hung out with some friends. So where is this case right now on this individual? Because this has been over at least over 2 years.
Yeah.
And these 4 individuals, lost their lives within 8 days apart. So this was shocking. So let's go ahead and pretty much dive into Emmanuel Bartender. And so there's these killings here just went on, and the government tried to investigate, but they also came up with their own report. So going on here is some said that he was drunk, and he missed his steps and fell. Some said that he was killed outside and dumped in his compound. Others said he was killed in bed. And he was through, he threw him down the stairs, but according to the police, he mistook and he mistakenly fell So that was the police only report that he mistakenly fell on the balcony and pretty much and went down the stairs, and this was an untimely death. So I mean, these are different reports. So what do you make of this here, Honorable Steve Gay?
Um, it is saddening, like you said, to have a brilliant and smart young man who have met up with his timely death. We want to say we are now waking up the wounds of the family, but we want to say we are in sympathy with the family and our condolences again for the death of these great people of our country. It's discouraging, it's unacceptable, and we think these allegations are not good. Uh, so again, this is unbelievable to have this young man being killed or fell according to their report. Now the question is, how this guy will not know his own steps of going in a house. One, two, who, because he died 2 a.m. in the morning. And I believe the guy was seen in Calabash. Now, who drove this guy home? Because the question here is, if this guy was drunk, okay, we agree. Okay, he drunk. But he got drunk. He didn't get drunk on the road while coming home. And this guy got access to vehicle. And I know this guy got access to driver. So who drove his car from Calabash to the second resident?
Didn't he have a personal driver?
Indeed, he have. He entitled to a driver. He's the director general. He entitled to a driver. Even the deputy directors entitled to a driver. There was about him. So these questions about if the government come on and say, look, I wanted to read this stuff here, what government just said here. That is kind of shocking to say, okay, the details of the cause of the death of the RAA boss are sketchy. However, the government of Liberia assured the public that once further details are established, it will be made known. You see? Now, what am I trying to say here? These kind of investigations will be delayed, and if the investigation delay for a couple of times, it's swept under the carpet. Now, if the government can promise the public that, okay, when we got further information, we will be able to publish to the public. Up to present, they have not published any information or a tangible of his death. Up to now, no one has been arrested. Now, this is the failures of the government, of the National Police investigation. There should be some forensic that have to take, and the forensic should be comprehensive. Now, the forensic in conducting the kind of forensic, the questions that needed to be asked. Question number one should be, who drove, when the man left the house to go, how many friends the man was sitting with? It's also important to know the kind of people he was with that night. Those people, they are also party of interest. Because the possibility that this man was drunk and was going home and somebody should tail behind him is possible. Now, these people, those friends that were there that night, should also be questioned. That's one. Who drove the guy home? If that guy can get in his own car and drive a car from Calabar to a house, they mean that guy can claim a step and go in your room. Of course.
Yeah.
It means this guy can go in your room. Now, if you say fell, from where? Because when you're drunk, what happened to you? When you're intoxicated, you become weak. It's true that you are weak and drunk, but when you drunk, you just remain asleep.
Or maybe someone put something in his liquor.
In your liquor.
Yes, yeah, because sometimes you can be chilling, having a good time with your friends, but looking at his title, as a chief auditor of the Liberia Revenue Authority, looking at his title, he's auditing the government, right? He's auditing high rankings folks within the government. So he's going out having a good time, looking at his surroundings, those that hanging out with him, and maybe his drink might have been poisoned, but unknown friends. Someone just put something in his drink, and now his vision or his mental thought process became blurry, and he missed his steps. And so this was the report from you know the police, and it is sad that up to now, they stated that they will bring the perpetrator to justice or to the book, but they have not updated his family on nothing, and not so looking at his death and looking also at the death of those other three employees that worked in that agency. So it created a red flag, So at least if it was just this individual that passed away or pretty much got, murdered or died from, being drunk, but then these three individuals within 8 days. So it just sent a message that what is going on, that if you are trying to expose the government, there's always, a foul play, or there's always a death occurring to silence you. So these things is not, it's not right. It make people scared. It even make investors scared to go in a country to invest,
Sure.
because if all these killings going on and people are not brought to justice after 6 7 months, it died down. You don't hear about it again. Unless you hear about it in the media, like we're talking about it now. It scared. It scared tourists, investors, friends of Liberia. It just scare other people that will come in the country and be like, okay, how safe am I? How is the security sector? How safe am I? Because if these guys are dying, just for doing that work, so so what if these high officials are dying just for doing that work? What about these other guys who are not up there? So it just is awakening the country, even though they protested, and they demonstrated, but said no results.
No
Then the
result.
government is doing the same thing. We all want to bring the perpetrator to justice. They know who the perpetrator are, or the perpetrator know themselves.
Let me let
But
me let me let me let me give you let me hold you there and bring this to your knowledge. Let me bring this to the knowledge of the viewer. Uh my brother, we got limited time here, but let's just jump into them now. Let's just jump into them once and for all.
okay,
All of the auditors, can you imagine? This is a strategy. This is what makes it skeptical, and it's complicated in this manner to have people who conducting audit. The word audit is that they are investigating how the government spending money.
right,
If you spend money that is not for you, if you steal any money from government cover, those are people who will unveil it, who will expose it, and you will face justice. So why would the auditors, along with a revenue, officer, as people who deal with money, and another death of the central bank officials who work at central bank cover? Can you imagine all these people circulate money? Now, this is why the government need to be careful. You are being accused as a government of 16 billion being missing. You are being accused of 20 millions. Millions or US dollars have been misappropriated. Now, these allegations leveled against you that this government is stealing, that this government is corrupt, those are allegations that is leveled against the government. In the process of these allegations, those who are auditing government agencies begin to die. Now, what is the belief of people? 2, they got a central bank die. In the same process, especially men who were auditing this COVID-19 or money and how it was spent. Those kind of people die. And just around the same 72nd day, the other guy that died, the formula that died, a car lose control in the rolling door yard, and he hit another person or house another person. But now the story, the information that are coming up from those souls around was that you were being killed by the motorbike, and it just open your door and pull him down. How true is the information? Police are not giving us any tangible or the death of the 4 auditors.
Are you talking about George Fahnboto?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he passed at the hospital. When they took him, they carried him to the hospital, he passed. Up to present, these 4 auditors have never, there is nothing tangible. The perpetrator had not been arrested. The government has not provided any tangible information about the death of the people in the midst of corruption allegations that levy against the government. What does it prove? Does it mean that it is true that yes, indeed, the government corrupt? And now the answer is what? Yes. Now, if I say yes, what do I mean? If I say yes, what do I mean? The United States government get added by suspending or censoring 4 main government officials of corruptions in the country. Now, can you analyze these things that happen against the government? The auditors, the 4 auditors that are heading auditing to know how government money is spent in the country, they all die miserably. And nobody can tell why they killed them and how they died. Just auditor. It's not another person.
Because those guys don't want to be exposed, Yeah.
Secondly, the guy at Central Bank died. Then in the process of that, then the government of America is coming up to say 4 of the government officials have been corrupting the country, and they are the cause of all the corruption that going on in the country. So can you do your analysis and tell that what people are saying about the government is true? It means the death of the people, the belief of people is truth. It means these people were killed because they were auditing the government agencies and ministry and noticed that there were money that was stolen from the cover, and they don't want to be exposed.
So Steve, this is the ultimate question here that everybody is asking. So how can a country like Liberia, how can we alleviate corruption? I know we can't totally get rid of it, because in every country say, even in the Western world, say you got people that do corruption. Maybe they are not, or they are not being exposed because they are not being caught in the act. But every country you have some kind of corrupt person or corrupt leadership. So how can we alleviate? How can we regulate? How can we monitor? And how can we prosecute?
Oh well, I think, let me go to one of my policy when I'm going for campaign, and some of these policies we are putting on the table.
Yes,
because we are doing consultancy with professional librarians around the world.
Yeah,
we're not going in the government because we need power. We're going to the government because we want to provide remedies and change the narratives of what is happening in our country. Now, the best way you can do it is that one important thing is which government need to do is the private sector needed to be empowered. People Liberia need to be encouraged to involve into businesses in the private sector. Liberian government officials need to leave the issue of government money. When you are in government, it's just a beginning point. The little salary you are making from government, try to invest into a business or some project or some companies that you think you can live by. You can open a farm, and then instead of stealing from government cover, you can also produce something that the country is rich. You can produce something that outside your government position, you are making money from your private investment. Liberians need to understand that private investment is what pay government salary. I've been private sector development experts. I know how government or salary or government payrolls are funded. Are funded from private sector. Government credit from private institution. Government worker credit from private institutions. So if all of us are working in government, change our mentality and say, look, the little salary I'm making, okay, my wife is home. Let my wife open a store that if I take my salary, I just support the store. If I have my salary, I support the store so that tomorrow, if I leave my job, I remain, my store will support me. My children will still go to school. I will still going to eat. I'm still going to maintain my home. That mentality is not in Liberia. Even senators, representatives, ministers, directors, there is no business they have, no farm, they don't even have the knowledge of private sector. All they after they remain in the government there and steal money and get it. We need to first.
But most of these,
I come in. Let me get a point. We need to first prioritize the private sector. That's one. Two, the government should be strong in their prosecuting arm of these guys who will be caught in corrupt act of the country. Right. The government need to be strong on that. The government, like for example, that we just discussed the last time, the government is supposed to know that they are being accused of embezzlement. The country, a lot of demonstrations have been held against the government about stealing. And then truly it have been proven by the treasures of the United States that yes, indeed, 4 major government, especially the gateway of Liberia resources, which is the Freeport managing director, has corrupt and destroyed the country. This man is now contesting. The government should bound that man not to contest and have no private position and make sure that by this time they should be on a thorough investigation. It should be sure that by this time they have been seriously investigated and not just by or resigning from government position and they are just sitting there and say, okay, we relieve their post, so they continue our government. What happened to the money? They have set the country backward. These guys are stealing when police are not taking pay. When one man is taking $1 million, when teachers in the government schools are not taking pay, when one man is taking $1 million. This is why you found teachers are always calling for money in school. When there's no facility. In Ivory Coast, when you are teachers as a primary teacher in Ivory Coast or whatever teacher you are, the government built a residence for you. They got teachers quarter. They got teachers because they don't want you to say because I want to pay my rent, so I want teachers to pay for pamphlet. Pamphlet had left the college. He had returned to 6th grade, 1st grade, 2nd grade. People buying pamphlet in ABC now in Liberia. People buying pamphlet in 2nd grade now because the teacher need money.
Right.
Because they need to pay their rentage. They need to do this, they need to do that. So the way to eliminate the thing is there should be a medium or cut it down or cultivating those kind of problems out of the country. Now, 2, our policy is before you are appointed. And that's what I said in my speech and most of my interview. I'm not going to draft a policy or a manifesto of Steve Gay. It's going to be the manifesto of the Liberia New Democratic Congress. And that manifesto must be respected. And I should be bound by the manifesto of the people. If I go in the power and I'm not doing what the people will are based upon the manifesto that have been crafted by the people, I should be removed. I should not go. The party should be the one to even remove me before the country even remove me. And I'm going to build this party on personal gain or personal interest of the country and say, look, I'm the stand-up bearer of the party, I'm the vision bearer of this party, so I'm ego. And the ego is upon me. No, the manifesto that's going to be drawn is, if Steve Gay cannot live by the manifestos of the party must remove the man and bring in new stand-up bearer. Period. That's not going to be my party. It's going to be the party of the people. This policy, one, if we are appointing you as a government official, you are signing a memorandum of understanding with us, with the party. You go there, you are caught in Bessel. Your property you inherited before even be appointed, and the property you inherited before, after you are appointed, will be confiscated, and government money will be put by the cover. Sign it. When you sign it, then we appoint you. When we appoint you there, you know that this is on your file, and it will be probated. So as soon as you are called, if it was my government time, the document is signed, I send it to the court. And the government is going to appear to the court that the document is signed, will go to court. You go there, the court will investigate you. When you are guilty, your property will be confiscated. They will sell it and pay the money back to the government cover. So with this kind of high mention, I know people will start to, it will deter, it will not, you can't eradicate corruption, but it will deter people, it will minimize it so that people can say, look, even if I steal their money when they cut me, they will take my house from me. They will take my car, they take my house. Where will my children be? There should be some measure that will deter people. But the country gets open. It gets open. And which is wrong.
So you want each so this is what you just mentioned is on your manifesto. That government officials should be able to sign a memorandum.
Yeah.
That in case they are caught in corruption, that they be prosecuted.
Yeah.
So when I know we still have more time, more years for you to really start talking about your platform. But when are you going to reveal this manifesto to the world?
Okay.
It seems that we are diving into it, so I just wanted to just give us a heads up when we're going to dive deep into it, and that's a very key point there. But let's go ahead.
Okay. For now, like in Europe, the guys in Europe are now they are also professionals Liberians in Europe there that are also working on their ideas of the way they want, because you see, our motto is dreaming Liberia, a nation of our heritage. Our motto is dreaming Liberia, a nation of our heritage.
And that's the motto I was asking you about. I wanted to include it on the logo because it's supposed to be at the bottom. What's the motto again?
Dreaming Liberia, a nation of our heritage.
Dreaming Liberia. That's a good motto. Over here.
But maybe the people want to see the logo that we have. Maybe they want to can display it on the screen a little bit.
Yeah. I think we can. I think we can. So we will go ahead and try to put the logo on the screen here, and just want to let you guys know here that we will be climaxing in the next 10 minutes. Next week we will discuss Princess Cooper. Cooper, and then we will also
Cooper and the literal magistrate that died in Grand Gide, that got missing in Grand Gide.
That got missing in Grand Gide,
Yeah. So you see somebody tragedy? You see, you want people to go back to Liberia. How do you expect people in this country that are professional people in outside Liberia to go back to Liberia when people just killing people because of maybe politics, personal interest? Because this magistrate here, if you remain there, I will not win election. So you'll take away his life for what? All the politicians, do they have vision? If you think by killing somebody can cover you up, it's a disgrace to our country. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. We regret the death of all these guys that passed up, and we say, look, we are in sympathy with that, but we are saying, government, you are failing. In the issue of security, you're not doing well. You're not doing well. When it comes to security, you're not doing well. You need to improve on your security. You need to improve the country's safety. You need to improve that. You say everybody should get CCTV. That's right. But is the government doing everything possible to make sure that people that can afford CCTV in their houses? So if the government cannot do, let this government try to put the safety of the country in the hands of the joint security. Let the joint security have a specific budget. Let the budget of the security be added up. Let them increase the security budget so that the security will have an allocation of those who are on night duty. Make it attractive. Make those kind of area attractive, because you cannot tell people I say be in the cold overnight and your salary you get 95, you get 150. You think they're going to be serious? So what you do, add additional bonus to those who will serve in night duty on the joint security. Increase the security budget in the country, and make sure that these guys who will serve in the night, so you'll see that every security want to go do night shift. Do you know why all police want to go in the traffic to be a traffic police? Because they will be taking money from drivers, from bus driver, from taxi driver, from keke, from motorbike. So they are packed with ball every day. So every police in Liberia want to be traffic police.
So are you saying that the government should be able to have adequate compensation for police in order for them to stop the accepting bribes in the street?
Of course.
But does the government have the budget for that? Does it have the money?
The government have money. This is how the government have money.
Because
the senators are coming. The senators are representing.
Let me come in quick, because this is what I noticed, right?
Yeah.
The senators and representatives, like you said, they are being paid more.
More.
Yeah, because they are living. Some of them are living a lifestyle that that salary cannot attest to it. You know, they are living lavish life. You know, driving cars. Then sometimes we check that salary. You know, they wondering how that person is affording that. So, are they? You know, is this preference? Are they getting paid, you know, behind closed door more, or are they, you know, being corrupt, you know, or are they taking the country money and just using it on themselves and their family, and those that are doing the actual work? Because police security is very important to our country. So I believe that in order for those police to work, you know, actively and make sure things are in right order, they should get, affordable, like I said, moderate salary, where they'll be able to take care of them and their family. Because if I'm working for a government agency, I'm working for the government as a cop, as a police, and I'm not getting paid, you know, I can hardly feed my family, and I'm wearing that badge. You know, I will use that badge, the opportunity to, you know, most of them will use that badge or the opportunity to also on the street and be able to accept bribery and just to feed our family.
Yeah, you're right. Look, you see, like I said, the policing and the joint security will be there should be some attraction. Look at in the US and look at private security, their dress code. When private security dress, they come into you think that state security, you're scared. You're scared because they dress with their gun, everything on them. Private security, you're scared. They are present and don't deter or criminals. But guess what? In Liberia, security are afraid of criminal. Why? In the US or in other advanced countries, criminals are afraid of security. And I can tell you the fact. Look at the institutions that are growing up in Liberia. The institution called Soko.
The Soko.
Now they are sugarcoating them and calling them left-fortunate youth. Just to sugarcoat them. And it's the same government that facilitating the people. How? I can remember George, we are getting 5,000 one time. Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
So, do they have a special organization? Do they have a leader, even though they are considered
They
Zogo?
have their criminal leaders. All
Yeah.
of them got leaders in their various block. They got leaders in their various block. And those block, if something got missing from you, I tell you they stole my phone. I got one valuable phone, Infinite 8 when it came. I bought it. And they took my phone right from Banana Junction in Keke without coming from work. They just jumped on me and got the phone and then ran away. I went to the police. The police tell me the guy who can jack phone, they get one of their hair here. They get their hair. Police telling me that people get hair. They get their leader here. We'll call him and tomorrow you come by when we hear from him. Call him Kalu. His name is Kalu. So we saw police telling me they will call Kalu, who is the head of the criminal in Banana, that he bought motorbike and go to the children to be hijacking people in the street. His name is Kalu. They know him. They know his house. They know his family. They drink liquor with him. And Kalu get them phone. Police get phone behind the closed door from these criminals.
Oh, wow.
They know their hairs.
So the Zogo also have a huge recognition.
Huge recognition.
Yeah, in the country they have a huge recognition
Because
and they are also being respected by some of the government officials, including the president. Is that what you're saying?
I'm telling you, right? Look, I'm here to say the fact. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm not against Joria, but there's the fact.
When last you spoke to Joria over the phone?
No, we are not spoke on the phone.
How long? But when last?
Well, we spoke. It was during my wedding.
So what year was that?
That was 2000 and 2001.
So since 2001, you haven't spoken with Joria, or you haven't met him or seen him personally for your?
No.
Okay. So before we will use the 5 minutes to end the show to talk about this new logo here that was designed by Current Situation Graphic Design. And let's talk about this your new logo here before we end the show here, and then we'll give our closing statement. So I put a logo on the screen. It's very, shiny, it's attractive. Tell us about this logo. And this LNDC.
Okay, we may not have luxury of time to talk about that because we are already done with our time on the show tonight. Yeah. So LNDC is a Liberian-based political party, and it's a political party by visions and dreaming our country, looking at national policies and the way our country is governed and the way things are working in Liberia. We think that we, as a professional Liberians, can have a second thought to change the narrative of coming up with a visions and a direction that could help our country. And like I said, LNDC motto is Dreaming Liberia. So whoever have a good vision for our country is invited to join this party, this upcoming party. We will soon be registering this party to government. We are working beyond the scene for now and getting all formalities in place. And this is why this election, we are not participating in it. We will be participating in the election 2029, where at which time we are now work lengthily and sufficiently in driving the kind of policy, the kind of system that we can work with. One thing is that we got people in Liberia that are also working from community to community to know what the community need, what the community lack of, and what means that a government can impact a community. What are major projects? What are major constraints? What are policies that will affect the life of the citizen? We got to craft all of these systems together and make it a workable document before we can go into government. We don't want to go into government because we say, okay, government is sweet, they got money, and maybe I got influence, I got followers. You did? Yes, indeed. I got a huge base follower in all the counties. Yes, my name is not strange in Liberia. I might appear simple to you, but I'm well supported in Liberia by the citizens of the people. So what we're doing is that we're way beyond the scene right now. While we are working We're working with Liberians across the globe to be able to craft ideas. How can we change this country? How can we make impact? How can we attract investors? Now, those are things we are working on, NDC is working on right now. And one thing that affecting every government that been coming is that the foreign missions is one of the weak arm of every government that been coming. All the foreign missions. And NDC going to make a difference with that, because if you are an ambassador, if you are appointed as an ambassador, you must be an influential person, you must know foreign policy, and you are sent into the United States or any part of the world, you must make sure that you lobby it in that country as an ambassador, as a president of Liberia in that country to attract investors back to your country. You're not just going there because of salary. You sit there and you're taking your salary, your children, and you drive luxury car, you live on air condition, you sleep on a light, and people are suffering in Liberia, and you don't want to attract investors back to the country. Now we remove you. You must be able, you must have the capacity to attract investors back to our country. You must be able to find donors. You must be able to find companies that you're able to link with the government that will make you ambassador of that country. You must be able to work with the government and secure funds. You must be able to, you must serve as an evangelist, a preacher for your country. If all the ambassadors in all the country are doing same, we'll have so many companies coming back to Liberia.
Thank you. Thank you. That was well said. What we're going to do here is every Thursday at the end of our segment, we will take 5-7 minutes to learn more about LNDC. You know, I'm interested in learning about this political party. I know it's going to be surging, you know, soon. You know, it's going to be well known pretty soon in the diaspora, internationally, and also back home. So what we'll do, we'll give you at least 7-10 minutes to talk about this party and the direction it's heading in, and how will it be able to resonate among the Liberian people. You know, because one thing here, I know Liberian people vote on popularity. Liberian people want to know you. You know, that's one of the reasons they voted for Nyeswua, because why? He's a famous soccer star. You know, and one of the reasons Commies, then they having problem because they are not born yet. You know, they feel that Commies are outsider. You know their business internationally, even though you have 40 years of business experience. But you know, Liberian people let to vote on the popularity. So you know, maybe they will have a different mindset and see if they will vote on experience or popularity or substance, or you know, they will continue that purple. But thank you, Steve. I can't wait for next week, and thank you every week to always come on the show. And the show is, I learn a lot from you. Don't get me wrong, you know, because I'm not rooted into politics like you. So, but I learn a lot. Thank you for all your presentation. And then concluding statement tonight.
Okay, let me conclude on this. To say is that government in Liberia, when it comes to security, the government is not doing well. Investigations, there's nothing that is coming up out of those people that has been dying miserably. It's not fine in our country. And I will say to the government today, please put your feet down when it comes to security support. Increase the security salary. If it's not even salary, but get them bonus so that they can be encouraged to patrol overnight. The response systems of security, emergency response systems should be up to date. The government should find is to lobby for vehicle. Look at vehicle, used vehicle in the US here, we should get nothing. Nothing. They can come here and lobby for vehicles. Lobby for vehicle from somebody used car place, carry them to Liberia. They are still active to work. And make sure they have a working team. They're going to work with fire service. The team should comprise the fire service, the immigrations, the police, and all of the security, so that the police response unit should not just be a 3-person in pickup, that the one light is not even on, or the 3-person just in pickup that's still struggling to get gas before they come to your call. They should set up that department. And that department should be different from, the response should be different from police regular active details. So that as soon as they place your call, The police should be able to get on the car right away with despite men with arms and go there immediately. When we had this rapid response of police activities in the country, the criminal will feel that, my man, if you're not careful right now, police will soon be here. 2, we as a Liberian, we should leave the mentality of it is you, it's not me, it's not my business. It's happening many times in Liberia. In the US here, if even there's a unusual sign going on in your house, somebody else will be in that apartment and call police for that. And say there's a sign going on in their house that has not been happening, we not certified. Why going on here? You don't know who called. We should also get a habit that when criminals call Soko, they are attacking people on Broad Street. I can remember before I leave the line. On Broad Street, right to DHL. I was shining my shoe on the street. When I seen these guys, every time that come and put people down there, they will run to the car and get people bags and food. I'm talking about 11 in the day. And I'm saying in the day.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. People coming to work. These guys were taking people food. I was watching that. I was thinking first about what's going on. But when I said they would get people thing, and they were not wrong. They will walk and go across the road and go to some guy. They carry to their compound. Then they come by there again.
Oh, wow.
The next car that came and parked, I saw the guy and went there. I jumped on the guy and play. I don't play to demonstrate. The story is there.
What
and
you did?
I told her, I said, if I see anyone call, you think that you man like me, what a hard year you get it. That you show you man. I dare any man to attack anybody here again. I will lay people down today. I'll be the first to go on newspaper.
Wow. So
when I start insulting, when I start going up and down and blasting and challenging them, they cross the road, they left. When they left, they post that, oh, thank you. Now somebody, I said, but you're not looking at show. You order everybody sit down here, monitoring to everybody here. You're looking at them, they put your hand, they say, you can't talk. What for what?
I know, right?
So we should also learn to help the police also by, if you see anything unusual going on in your company, take your own phone and call the police. Instead of waiting for the people that is happening that you call, you should be able to call and say, police, I think where I'm saying something going on right in front of me here. And you need to come.
So how long sending the police, it take them to arrive at the scene? How long?
And sometimes in some cases you will not see them, in some cases they will come after 2-3 hours.
Oh wow. Then it's too late.
They're too late.
Yeah, but and anyway, Steve, thank you very much for that closing statement. I really appreciate your time as always. Next week we will continue on the mysterious death, and we'll also talk about some issue that is unfolding, and hopefully we should get Mr. Mr. Steve Bowley back. You know, he went on some traveling assignment, very busy. So thank you very much, Cher, for your expertise, your analysis, and at least you pretty much gave us a heads up on this new logo. So we look forward to, every 10 minutes at the end of our segment, me and Steve will be able to ask you questions about LNDC.
Yeah.
And you have a good night, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I will call you after we leave the lab.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thanks to our listeners, and may God bless each and everyone.
Thank you. All right, folks. For those who did not tune in, we are saying that you are missing out. You are missing out on a lot of important stories. For those who continue to tune in and watch the show, thank you very much. We will continue. We'll be very consistent. And but you are missing out. All I can say, you are missing out. You are missing out on a lot of information, a lot of good discussion, and a presentation. You are just missing out, and we need your participation. We need your participation. So let's get going every Thursday. Diaspora Liberian Political Scholar. Let's step it up. Okay. But thank you very much. We appreciate that you here. Let not your hearts be troubled. And always have a good sense of humor and always be optimistic. But thank you for tuning in once again, and you guys have a pleasant night. God bless.